Wow. You guys hear me now, right? So I managed to somehow have that muted. Sorry. That's me. So hello and welcome again. That's super fun. Alorian, Viper, Samuel, Brian, welcome. Bills, welcome. Jeremy, hey. Paul, thank you for moderating. Yeah, there we go. I'm doing great. So yes, happy pre-Halloween. Yes, the idea is to get them painted and finished. So, we're just gonna move on from that awesome flub. Anyway, yes. So, David, you'd asked about the Warhammer Christmas boxes. I don't know. I haven't checked on any Warhammer Christmas boxes. So, maybe you can fill me in on that a bit. Just gonna close out some windows here, keep things running smoothly. Oh, okay. I took the day off and it still feels like a long day. Actually, I stopped what I was doing to come do this paint and chat. I was in the middle of pumpkin carving. And by pumpkin carving, I mean spending the last 2 hours transferring an image because I'm trying to do a really complicated pumpkin. So I'll show you guys that one after I'm finished. Sorry again. All right, so like I said, we're going to finish up these girls. That's the plan. I don't know. Let's see if we can do it. And, whatever, let's get started. What are you all working on tonight? Are you making pre-Halloween plans? I think all the parties supposedly happened this last weekend. I don't know, I didn't participate in anything. And I was working on my costume today for work tomorrow, so we'll see if that turns out the way I'm hoping it turns out. Atomic Topher. They're not proper Christmas boxes because there's no Santa mini in any of them. That's fair. That is fair. Okay. Go back and check something here so I can jump back in. Excuse me. It's also that time of year where, you know, you're all sniffly and stuff. So. MAK Brickworks figures. Putting the final touches on the Call of Cthulhu character. Nice. It is Halloween already here in Australia. Not many people celebrate it, but I do have candy for any trick-or-treating kids. Nice. Well, I hope that works out then. We don't get a whole lot of kids over here either, but we do have a 13-foot inflatable Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that goes out in the front. That's always pretty cool. All right. So one of the things I'd been concerned about on this mini was that the skin tone was probably a little too light. Like, it's skin colored, but it's so bright and it's so flat. And I have this other one. I have Kislev Flesh. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it is a very... It has a bit of a, it can have a little bit of a necrotic look to it to me, but I think it'd make a good base coat. So I'm going to try that. Yes, all right. Ghostbusters is great. You're jelly that I have a Stay Puft? Well, he is pretty cool. So I'll definitely have to make sure to get him out. Actually, we don't keep him out all the time because it's Albuquerque. Could get stolen. The realities of my dear town. All right, let's... All right, what am I doing? So I'm going to probably put some paint here on my little palette. So we're going to put the Kislev Flesh on there and not use it out of the pot, much to my own surprise. Figuring this out as I go. Oh my gosh, I was in the Halloween store today. A Bob Ross costume. Which, I mean, talk about easy money, right? It's like, oh, some jeans and a t-shirt, but either way. Use Vallejo, I assume you mean flesh paint range? I'm using the Citadel. And actually I do. I have a Vallejo. This is the one that I use as my base, and this is actually just going to be the highlight now. So we're going to try that and see how that rolls. It'll be great. Meeting my friend Jimmy for a quick rescheduled catch up tomorrow for Halloween, but that's it. Yeah, I don't know that I'm doing much of anything. It's weird because Halloween is, I mean, for the last several years now, right? It's fallen on a weekday, and so there's not a whole lot getting done. Or, you know, you always have to celebrate it early, I guess, if you're wanting to go to the parties or whatever. And I don't even go to parties, but it'd be nice to have the option. Alright, so we are going to, and I'm using my little Baumwick paints. Which again, you've only seen me, I've only used them while on streams with you guys, so as these get theoretically worn down eventually, you can see their lifespan. So I am just going to cut into here. Hey Space Moms, how you doing? Technically Halloween in hour 37. Yeah, I've got a few hours yet for mine. So this is basically just a redo. I'm gonna repaint to see if I can't get a little bit more dynamic color going on with their skin. So it's just a little less boring and flat. And I think maybe it's easier to paint a highlight than a shadow. We'll see. So, how's everyone else doing tonight? I know a few models are getting worked on. Any plans for Halloween? Giving away some candy perhaps for the little kiddos? Taking kids, I guess. I guess some people have kids, right? Taking them out for trick-or-treating. Or they have all those events now that kids do instead. I don't know. Do you still trick-or-treat with kids anymore? Is that a thing? I mean, I still see kids here trick-or-treating. Half the time they're teenagers, but whatever. They're celebrating. Okay. Can't believe I freaking biffed the sound. Ugh, so annoying. And is anybody dressing up for Halloween, or did anybody dress up already? Inquiring minds want to know. Had a great game of Age of Sigmar tonight. Nice. Lost it, but it was a blast. Well, and that's how you know it's a good game, if you can lose and still have fun. Because, you know, it's always two players in a game at least. And usually just one person winning. They gotta both have fun if you want to keep a game alive. Alright. So we've got, I think, a better base tone going on here. Try and keep her face smoothed out as well. And then we'll go over her with some highlights of the different flesh color. That should improve things. What are people's favorite Halloween movies? Well, I did see Zombieland this week. Or Zombieland 2, I should say. That was arguably better than the first. It's been a while since I saw the first one. And I enjoyed it quite a lot. And I didn't have any expectation for the second one. And then I ended up loving it, so it's nice when that's what happens instead of being right. What else is a great one? Nightmare Before Christmas is a great one, although that kind of can be used twice a year. Ghostbusters is great. Trick or Treat is a fun one. I don't do a whole lot of the horror scary movies. My friend Flo is way more into that, and she's very knowledgeable on all those. Did you build the base grave minis? No, not yet. I'm moving super fast, I know. No, they haven't gotten built yet. They are laid out. I did an unboxing. And so as soon as they're assembled, we'll get some shots of them on the round table, and then I can complete that video. And then I can paint them. And I was hoping that would happen this week, but I had to wait. Has anybody else started playing Beastgrave yet? I mean, have you started in with the minis yet? I think that was the case last week, that someone already had. There we go. Interesting effect I'm getting here. This Kislev flesh is weird coverage. I think I need to delete it. One of my favorite ghost stories movies is the original The Haunting. I couldn't tell you if I've honestly seen The Haunting. There's a lot of the older movies that I don't see just because they're scary. I did see The Shining recently. They had a re-release of that in theaters. And that was lovely. I forget how much I really enjoy Kubrick movies. I also forgot how much I enjoy movies that will take its time, like letting characters act like real people. Which happens in The Shining, you know? I have Beastgrave, but I haven't started it yet. It can be hard, right? Sleepy Hollow and The Prince of Darkness. Ugh, both of those are good. Bram Stoker's Dracula, amazing. Really good soundtrack. Sleepy Hollow has definitely gotten a fair bit of play in this house over Halloween. And what else? I enjoy the Addams Family movies. I don't know if any of y'all feel that way, but I think they're super fun. So I'll do more of the cheesy Halloween stuff, I guess, because spooky Halloween is... And I've done both. I think one Halloween we watched, It Follows, which I was telling Paul a little bit about earlier. It's an interesting little indie film, independent movie. And it makes a really good, like, horror. Yeah, that's better. Alright, Kislev flesh. Make sure to water that down. There we go. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is do a blend. Actually gonna blend here. Be kind of funny. My Kislev flesh with the Vallejo in order to get a nice mid-tone, and that way it'll marry the colors a little better and we won't see as high a contrast. So goes the theory. We'll give it a shot. Ernest Scared Stupid. Oh my god, that movie actually scared the crap out of me as a kid. Legitimately. Like the claymation stop motion monster freaked me out. All right. Now we're gonna get a little Vallejo mixed up. Mix it really, really well. Hey, Javand, how you doing? I really did enjoy Ernest Scared Stupid. It's been a really, really long time since I've watched it. Jeremy, okay, you built Beastgrave. I know you've been busy. I'm sure you're helping the kiddo with Halloween too. We need to grab some Miak for Halloween. The old thing from outer space is good too. Space as well. If you want to know what I picked up, it's the Malagants, the original box set starter kits for the Mortis engines and crew. Sweet that it still exists for AOS and Warcry. Nice. All right. Couple drops of the Vallejo over on the right and the Kislev flesh on the left. And you can see there's very strong difference between the two. So we'll just drag some out. Oh, the old thing. Yeah, that's a great one. The original one? Not the original one. It was a remake, right? But it was amazing. So it's good. Pull these two colors in here. Show my paint getting mixed. Cause keep a nice wet brush with that. And I want it more light than not, I think. Just need to have a little bit of that tone in there. Find a good in between the two colors. Actually, that mixes really well. And then I'm using a pretty wet brush just because I'm not pulling a whole lot of paint over, and I'm in a super, super, super dry environment, so I need to make sure that the paint doesn't dry. The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown is great too. Although it's been quite a while. Okay. So let's start highlighting some stuff. Well, you highlight the high points, so let's get their cleavage sorted out. I mean, if we're being real here. Other scary movies. Well, movies that legitimately scared me were things like The Ring, the remake with Naomi Watts. I thought that was pretty legitimately freaky. What else has genuinely scared me? See, the thing is, there's a lot of movies out there that look scary, so I don't go see them. Might keep not so much paint on the brush now. The highlights of the face. And then they're gonna get a face drawn on anyway, so. There we go. Now we're just doing the high points, which would be from a zenithal, whatever, perspective. Need you all to remind me of the rest of the scary movies. I put plastic wrap on my mixing tray so I never have to clean it. It's a really good idea. Huh. I'll just use my thumbnail and pop it off. I'm currently coloring the freehand art I did last night on Alexis's Land Raider. Oof. Oh, good on you, man. You're definitely more talented than I in that regard. Alright. So hopefully I've given them a little bit more of a slightly realistic looking tone. That's the hope. And that way they just look a little more human. Ooh, there's some weirdness going on with this chick's arm. Gotta fix that. Because the thing about the skin tone on these girls is they're probably not going to get a wash at all. It'll just be on the clothing. I think that Kislet flesh went on too dry. There we go. Yeah, it's funny. After I get done with this, I'm going to go back to my pumpkin carving because I'm really excited to see if I can pull off what I'm trying to pull off. How's that looking on there? Is that any better? So the front girl I think is done right. And then the second girl here I've got pretty happy with everything except that one arm. The Agrax Earth shade, I think, I don't think I could get a smooth enough blend. I think I would just end up making them look dirty, like they're grimy. Shaping up nicely so far. Yeah, not too bad. Need to finish getting gunmetal on here. The stock of the gun needs the brown. And after that, it's pretty much the base coats in place. I don't think that I really have to do much on their hair. Dirty and grimy works for you. Well, that's great. Can't wait for Valhalla 2020. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome. They look very human. I cannot paint skin. Well, let's see if once I get to the faces, that'll be the real telling point. So, yeah, okay. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I might throw some Agrax Earth shade in there. It would help with a little bit of the shadows. And then maybe I can re-highlight them. Maybe we should try that. Yeah, get my jumpsuit touched up here. And then we can probably shade them. I mean, let's see. Which shades do I have here? I've got my Milne Oil. Castellan Green. Actually, where is my Agrax? Eek. Alright, we're just going to touch up a few points in which the skin tone overlayered across the jumpsuit. Overlapped? Yeah, that's it. There we go. Hey Robert, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Still enjoying your game? Got a little extra hair here I'm having to work around. Okay, and where else? Sorry if my hand's in a weird spot. Just sometimes the only way to get to the weird angle you need to paint in, you know? There we go. Alright, at school, students working quietly. Excellent. If you have Rakeland flesh. I don't have a lot of the flesh tones to work with, to be honest. I need to probably build out that collection. Is one of the few things I won't mess with a craft paint on, because I don't think a craft paint will do the job right. So I have the one Vallejo and then the Kislev flash. So yeah, I need to find a better one for that. There we go. So yeah, I'll have to mess with that in the future. I mean, I think though where I have them as far as their basic tone is fine. We just need to figure out their shadows now. And that should come out pretty quick. Again, just filling in some of the basic parts here, and then we're filling the brown. It can be so hard to find the right one, and then depending on like what they're wearing. So Lorraine, you said that don't sweat it too much. You have 7 skin tone paints, and not a huge fan of either. Yeah, and that's always the problem because you're looking at them in the store and you're like, maybe does that look right? But you've always got to think of it, I guess, as far as, you know, is it the right shade? Will it build up the way you want? So, getting back to my own nutmeg here. And that ends up really being more the question, rather than if the one shade is exactly right. Because when you look at skin, you have multiple like shades depending on the part of your body. Like, you know, if you wear makeup, you generally have to like be careful about the foundation, for example, you put on your face, because it will look different than the rest of your skin. You're supposed to like match to your neck instead, because your face is usually a little darker naturally, because you're out in the sun all the time or whatever. So yeah, that can be a thing to keep in mind. So so the end of that will probably be metal, but that stock right there is most certainly brown. Okay. And then I need to get some gunmetal on here. It's so funny how much of painting is just like solidifying your base coats, and then you sort of work in the details over time. Eyeshadow? What about eyeshadow? No, speaking of which, Halloween without privateer press, the Grimkin sets. Grimkin are fun. I actually thought about painting Grimkin Grimkin model on the stream instead, but I didn't have it ready because I have the nace layers and they're super fun and they definitely need to get painted, but I haven't finished assembling them, which means they need to get primed, and when you're primed, you sit them out a while. I've heard some people, when they find a skin tone combo they like, they mix up a paint pot of it. Oh wow, that's a lot of work. I just settle. Okay. And some gunmetal. To apply eyeshadow, so I thought eyeshadow. I'm sorry, I meant foundation. You know, that other makeup that women use. That's supposed to be the base coat for everything. Eyeshadow. No, the eyeshadow you just put on the color. Sorry, I used the wrong word. They oftentimes do. Alright, so what else is everyone doing for Halloween? Are you guys just gonna stay home and watch scary movies? Or Halloween themed movies? There's some good non-scary Halloween themed movies. Ooh, Beetlejuice is another fun one. I like that one. Kooky kind of movie. Edward Scissorhands. Actually, probably more of a Christmas movie, but you think about all of the spookies around this time. Or all the weird movies, because it's... Edward Scissorhands isn't really scary. It's just... interesting. Alright, let's get that gunmetal on there and hopefully not lose too much detail. And this I'm just sort of squeezing behind her arm there, hoping for the best. There we go. And then I'm just going over the stock of the gun again. The metal part, just to make sure all that looks good and covered. And I think it looks good and covered. Okay. All right, DJ Todd. Greetings all, sorry for being tardy to the party. Just wrapped up the Zombicide Resident Evil campaign. A bloody affair. Half the survivors joined the zombie horde. A bloody good game was had by all. It's amazing. Sam, I mostly paint Tyranids and Gene Stealer cult models, so skin tone isn't a big deal. Fair enough. Gervasio hosting a party at my games bar. Should be fun. Nice. Illyrian, World of Warcraft at my house. Retail, though. Leveling essences before next patch. Oh man, yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. What's your costume? Well, I'm supposed to be a ringmaster for Halloween, a carnival theme, like a spooky carnival theme. So mostly everything I have I found that I already had, or used from what I already had, I should say. And then some of it I went to that Spirit Halloween store and got like a cane and like just a little accessory for like the sleeves so I had more, you know, fancy sleeves basically. And that is about it. So we'll see how that turns out in the morning, and then I'll curl my hair, so we'll see. We'll see. Will you be wearing a mustache, though? Alas, no. Although we do have a bizarre number of fake mustaches at work for some reason. Oh my god, expecting 6 inches of snow in Chicago, Robert? Well, that sounds horrible. It makes me glad I don't live in Chicago. Wow. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take a 2-second break. You can look at what these girls are supposed to look like while I go find my Agrex Earthshade that was obviously procured by from my desk. I'll be right back. Thank you. gosh, so much work. Ah, but I found I have 2 washes, so this is fun. I have Agrax Earthshade and Seraphim Sepia. So now I have 2 choices. I don't even know. Top hat, bullwhip. Top hat, yes, and a cane instead of a bullwhip. You know, as far as the costume goes. And I'm taking the remainder of my Zombicide Invader Darkside minis. Taking on? Oh, okay, nice. Oh, my Thursday group will be playing Mall of America? I don't even know that one. That's fun. Alright, you need short shorts and a coat with tails. There you go. Wait, what? Come in and I hear Miranda says she's glad she doesn't live in Chicago. They are gonna get 6 inches of snow tomorrow. I hate snow. It's cold and unpleasant. Seraphim Sepia would be better for faces. And the Agrax Earthshade for clothes. Alright, well. Earthshade it is. Let's give this a go. I'm gonna have to be happy with it because then that will take a while to, you know, settle. Probably won't happen. You don't think so? Okay, I don't know. Chicago gets crazy weather. You guys had that polar vortex last year, and that was insane and scary. I don't think anybody was happy with that situation. One of my other friends who lives out in Chicago said that the factory floor at his place, someone's boots had gotten frozen to the floor. That's very cold. It's not helpful when it fights me. Alright, sepia tone going on. Filling in that detail beautifully. I am enjoying that. Let's make sure to get enough of it on there. Anyway, welcome. Sorry that you came to the stream and me saying harsh things about Chicago. Although, no, I'm glad I don't live in Chicago. Albuquerque's as dangerous a city as I want to live in. Just saying something, honestly. There we go. So you can kind of get an idea of the wash versus not washed, particularly on the backside. Get some details standing out there. Probably doesn't have to be as dramatic. There we go, reduce that a bit. So, alright, Earthshade's looking pretty good. Florida is practically immune to snow. Hey Braden, how are you doing? Florida just gets hurricanes. Oh my gosh, yeah. See, Albuquerque, for all its flaws, is a largely weatherproof city because we have mountains on most sides of it, or at least mountains on the east side that largely block the real craziness. Oh crap. Oh, I did that thing again. Where it largely blocks the ability for weather to get in. Hopefully not stab myself too hard with this pen. Okay, fine. I hate it when this little nub thing, so this bottle's dumb, right? So this little nub here sticks out, and then this will get on the other side of it, which is great, it keeps it open, but then it's like a nightmare to get back over without making a mess of your hands. Miranda, just use a bit of Rakeland Flesh Shades, a little red tint and washes. I don't have any of these things. Appreciate the approach, but yeah. Robin, welcome. Billfish, Ohio 90 one day, 50 the next. Yeah, and I mean, that's just weather, right? Like, unless you live in a place that's either always hot or always probably kind of cold. I don't know. Alright, so getting that Agrex Earthshade on basically all of the clothes. And then we'll try the sepia on the flesh and see how that goes. All right. Honestly, I'm not even totally sure where I got sepia, or the Seraphim sepia from, so hopefully it's not too old. The washes probably last a while. Okay, and just picking up some excess so that it's not too terribly grimy. They're not that dirty. If weather's not getting in, what is your air quality like? Well, we have a pretty low population and we have high winds, so we do all right. Unless there's a fire nearby, then that's really rough. Then you just see smoke in the air all the time. Okay, so there we go. I think that knocked it down just right. So I'm happy with how the Agrex Earthshade filled in the details on the fabric. You can see, and this one is actually dried, so just the right amount of outline and all that stuff done for you. I appreciate it. Has anyone figured out what the Taos hum is? I don't know. Is that a thing? Don't go north to Taos. That will be a black wash on all of the metal, which we can just go ahead and get on there, I think. Yeah, let's do that. My guess would just be a large cell phone tower or something government-based. We have a bajillion labs and, you know, secret government stuff out here. So it could be any of that. All right, so this is a Nuln Oil going over the gunmetal. That's the word, gunmetal. And filling in those details and giving some a nice oily kind of dirty look. And we'll get that over the Tommy gun. And there we go. And let's get it over this gigantic railgun and add some depth to it, shall we? Getting into all the nooks and crannies. And I'm being very liberal with my use of Nuln Oil here. There we go. You can see it kind of moving around on there depending on where you want it to pool. And so you just have to make a few quick decisions on where grime would likely be. Yeah, there we go. I'm liking the way that looks. And that just brings it down the right way. Old school painting techniques work pretty well. It's not fast. I think most new techniques are just designed to help be faster, but I mean, yeah, old school is just fine. That's my take. now we might need to start painting in their faces. What does a sepia look like? Have you checked out Infinity Defiance? I love Corvus Belli miniatures. They're sweet. Infinity Defiance Kickstarter out now. Okay. I have not. But I'm sure, I mean, their miniatures are always really cool looking. Well, we can try. A little bit of sepia tone into here. I'm doing the Seraphim Sepia here and just being really, really light on their skin and just letting it sort of pull into a few details that I'd rather not have to paint the specific details on. Brush holds a lot of water. There we go. It can be nice for getting a proper wash to kind of define a jawline on a model. It's really hard to get that just right. So we'll see. Do some glowing or heating on those fins. One on here. Yeah, there should just be some kind of glow. What does the actual model look like again? It's very basic. So we'll see. Have you guys taken a peek at the GW Christmas Battle Force boxes? I think that the Tyranids, Drakari, and Tau/Skaven, Night Haunt, and Goblin boxes are the best value. Oh, yes. I'm not ready. Just not ready to do it. I don't know, I'll have to take a look at the Night Haunt and see what kind of value they really have. Are you thinking of getting one or all of those there, David? Jeremy, so Infinity Defiance is a cooperative dungeon crawler that uses some of these sport games. They make mechanics as you may like it more than Infinity itself, but it's only available during the Kickstarter. Oh. Well, we'll see then. I'll take a look at it after. Happy Halloween Eve, Robin. Let's paint a face. Let's see what brushes I have. We've got some teeny tiny brushes here on the Baumwick thingy. These are synthetic Kolinsky, which I think is a sable. Let's see what brush choices I have for painting in the teeny tiny details of a face. Well, that one looks pretty tiny. Prime synthetic, does it have a name? Just the 10X. Okay, well that's apparently the one we're gonna use. So I can get into Bitty Bitty. And as I've learned from Jason, who I'm forever grateful for letting me know, you're gonna do brush. Don't immediately bend the edge. Let the starchy stuff wash off in a paint pot first. Otherwise, you'll break your point. I always have a heater next to me to dry minis as I paint them. Besides, northern Alberta is cold. Ooh. Yeah, I mean these minis dry pretty much as you paint them, so. goodness, this thing is so bitty bitty. Well, so eyebrows and eyeballs. On a miniature, I don't tend to go too crazy painting like the actual like eye color or eye shape. I try to make sure that I get a line for the eyebrow, which these girls have great sculpting for, and the eyes themselves, which have to be straight. So we're going to give that a shot today. Just gonna give normal black eyeballs. Again, they're too tiny to really be able to tell the color. And then I'm gonna use the my nutmeg brown. Yeah, probably just the brown to define the eyebrows, because usually eyebrows are darker than your normal hair, unless your hair is already really dark. So we're gonna try that. Space Wolves, you're right. You're onto something about the cosmetology effects on minis. They are exact same things for fundamental effects. Oh, good. I've heard the game Visage can be pretty freaky. I never do eyes, ever. I can't. Well, you can't until you try. I'm still trying to convince Paul to try things. He bought Abaddon. I mean, he's obviously not afraid of challenge. I think you can do all right, Paul. All right. Inky black darkness. Teeny tiny brush. This is the 10X of the purple series. The super detail. They're called super detail. And again, just make sure I got that cleaned off enough. Last thing I need is on this really tiny point is to mess that up. All right, so start with the black. Try to only have a little bit of paint on there. And for me, I do a vertical line. A very, very short vertical line. And they've got to look like they're looking at you. And some people will base it with like a maybe an off-white in the background. You totally can. That's sort of the start of it. Of course, the main trick is look at them and make sure they're looking at you. Try if you're trying to keep them straight. And then you can kind of work in a little bit more detail if you're feeling bold. This is a teeny tiny detail brush, though. I will give it that. Holy cow. Anyway, for me, I'm doing a line because then I can underline it with, say, hang on, I'll get back to you guys. I'm focusing here. With the bottom of the eye. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, so I may have to do a little bit to prepare. They are eyes, indeed. What is even happening on here? Fine microtip micron pen. Well, that's probably a really good idea. Paint white, use a toothpick to dot the eye. That's also good. Eyes are not as good as they once were. Wash eyes for the win. There you go. All kinds of good techniques in here. Yeah, no, that's very true. All right, so we're going to probably clean up a little bit of the eyeball area. See if I can re-wet some of this paint here. And we'll see what we can do. Protective eyewear for them would be easier. Oh, it'd have to be part of the model. Unless you're talking about me just freehanding protective eyewear. In which case you have far more confidence in my ability than is warranted. Don't use micron pens. You cannot control the ink that comes out of them. Oh. There you go. Couldn't speak too much of that then. We're just gonna remix a little bit here. There we go. Hey Matthew, you're welcome to stay in the chat if you don't act super weird and ask questions that have nothing to do with miniatures. Otherwise, I'll boot you. All right. There we go. Or green stuff. Yeah, thanks. I'm glad you think I can somehow actually sculpt green stuff. Maybe I'll try that one of these days on the chat, but oh my gosh, it's that's plenty. All right, so behold, eye dots. Oh gosh. We're gonna get some eyebrows on there. Eyebrows, I think, sell it almost more than eyeballs. So that's my take. Do you have magnifying lights? I don't. I've already had too much tea today. There we go. And the nice thing here is this model has a really nice raised brow built into the model. And so you can kind of just take advantage of the highlights on it. Magnifying lights are awesome. I'm sure you're right. I just haven't. Question for chat. Do many people have the magnifier glasses, or does anyone use one of those magnifier lamps with the ring around it? Good questions in both cases. I know. I'm not magnifying. It's true. But I think it's overall okay. It's like it wants to focus and then it doesn't. Do it. Come on. That gun really upsets matters. Alright, well, apparently it's just going to be a thing for Instagram and later. So, first Chica's got paint and eyeballs. Woohoo! Now for the second chick. Try to magnifier made it hard to judge distance. That is a very interesting problem I've noticed too. When you are working with a teeny tiny little brush, it gets really tricky to tell how close you are. It's also easy to be so happy with one dot and not the other. Sorry, I'm going to stare at the top of my head for a second. Whew. And then, like, the longer you wait as you close in on the model, the shakier your hand gets. And then that's really stressful. There we go. Faces are one of those things. It's so nice when you get them the way you want. It can just be a bit of a pain in the butt to get to that point. And I am getting way too happy with this one, so I'm probably going to screw it up. Yeah, I'm totally going to. Oh well. I just have to redo her eye dot. That's what I did. Let's see here. I painted many smaller scale minis. 15 and 10 millimeter and some 6 millimeter. Learn to paint, make it good on the table. I will never win a painting contest. Yeah, I mean, and everybody paints for their own reasons, right? And so, although I think even people who don't typically care, they'll have like, you know, they'll pick a model and they'll be like, this one. I need this one to look better than all the others. And that can be where you really push your skill, even though you're being totally practical and just, you know, keeping the majority of them. You know, ready for tabletop quality or whatever. Alright. I'll get a super close-up of it for Instagram because this webcam, actually, I'm going to force the webcam to do a better job than this. So... I'm going to put that face right where I want it. Oh wait, I'm not caring about that. There we go. So that's basically the focus on the face. And that eye isn't quite right still. It's like this one's still a little smaller on this side. So, you know, fighting with eyeballs, that's always great. But we're getting there. Hey Patrick, hey Kitty, how are you guys? Acrylic paint hair highlights, yeah. Ah. Mm-hmm. This dot is going to get me. Okay. I need to stop. Okay. Back lady. Let's try her with a little bit of the white to be the background for the eyeball. I'll just do that one. A little different. That one big gun reminds me of Martha Stewart. Oh, the one with the big gun? Okay. And Martha Stewart was a beauty queen winner, wasn't she? So I think that's appropriate. Let's go with vintage white. Now and again I pick up a model, I want to be 10 times tabletop quality. Yep, exactly. And then you're miserable for a few weeks as you have taken on that challenge, but it's usually worth it. And the trick is always to be consistent between the two sides. Because you can't just mirror it. There we go. I cannot put paints on paper towels unless I'm dry brushing. Oh yeah. Alright, we've got our white in place. Let's see if maybe that does a better job. Ouch, Miranda. Where's your wet palette? Wet palette. I don't use one. Let's get this black back in here. Maybe next time I'll use it. I don't know. I say that. I'm not going to use it. I'd have to make one or buy one. And as it stands, it hasn't been something I've wanted to do yet. Oh wow, alright, that was surprisingly consistent. So on this check, we've got her looking the same direction, so that's the first positive thing. And now we just have to get her eyebrows in. You're doing good, Miranda. Thanks. I appreciate the encouragement. This has been fine. These models are fun to paint, honestly. Like, they've just got a cool look to them. And I really appreciate the sculpting done in the faces. I particularly enjoy that. Well, it's hard to tell because her eyes are largely covered. Her eyebrows are largely covered by her hair, but the eyebrows are on. Palante Enforcers myself, still painting them. Never played Necromunda, but I like the sculpts. It's a way to do it. And then you can sort of shape out the eyes by using the skin tone again to square off the bottoms, essentially. And then we can go back to our bigger brush. All right, so let me show you again the effect here. Oh my gosh, grab it. No, take auto off. That's the first thing. Okay, so right here, basic. Nothing special happening there. And then this chica I'm actually pretty content with. There's a little bit of a line I wouldn't mind getting rid of, but I had to stop. But overall here. So the next thing we really need to do just to give them some shape and make them not look like little anime characters is to add lipstick. Or just lip color. Huh, Necromunda's planning a relaunch, huh? Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, what colors do I have here? No, we want more red. Where's my red? There we go. Okay, 8:46. We're actually doing just fine for time, aren't we? I'm gonna take advantage of this teeny tiny brush and, well, try to break it apparently, and get the lip color on there. Maybe I can fix this one little thing. Okay, lip color. So with lip color, that actually is always a mix between skin color and, well, the color you'd want for your lips, because you need to keep the tone equal across. So I'll probably mix some of this Vallejo, because I really, really like the consistency of it, with some red. So we're gonna do that. Oh yeah, the little Brexit thing keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And then I think there's some elections potentially happening over there. I don't know, it's really hard to keep track. I mean, I know the US has a lot of drama, but the UK's definitely got its fair bit. Hopefully it all gets sorted out. Here, just taking some paints to put on the wet palette. Or not the wet palette. The regular palette. The one that I bought from the dollar store for like several of them. Your paint job seems to have more detail. Do you think so? Yeah, I don't know that there's a whole lot of detail in the faces there. I guess there's that. Yay! Something different, but I did. And then I think we'll have to start looking at how to do this base business, because that's a little intimidating, because I got this crackle stuff. And their base models all have this crackle base, so I'm trying to fit in, and we'll see. Normally you would just mix somewhere in the middle, but I put them kind of far away. So, trying to get a decent pink in here. Not enough to make it look like they're really like wearing makeup, but just that their lips stand out. It seems reasonable. Blue to represent electricity in the gun. Maybe that is a little intimidating for me. I have not looked at doing that just yet. Whew. Bracing my hand now against myself in order to keep my hand steady. There's very little paint in here. And this is me basically just going over the model the modeling of what's there. I don't want to draw a line because that won't look right. And occasionally there are models where you have to do that, but this is not one of them. All right. I think I'm just about ready to show you guys. The Dark Artisan, it's a great Warhammer YouTube channel. Oh, nice. I use a Masterson wet palette. I picked it up at Michael's here in Canada. Alright, well, maybe. It's good, Miranda. The eyes have it. Oh, good. Let me show you again what what they have for their faces. So if we change the focus here and refuse to let it autofocus anymore. How far can we pull it back? There we go. So the lips, and it's a little bright, isn't it? Pull the brightness down a bit so you can see the detail a little more. So on this, she's got eyeballs and she's got lips. And you can see on the other side of her, eyeballs and lips. The lips are fairly light, so I mean I kind of went with a lighter pink than I probably should have, but up close in person the detail's sufficient, so probably leave that alone for now. Just re-brighten a little bit for the rest of this. And re-auto. So, there you have it. So, if we did blue effects on the gun, that would just be along the coils, would they not? Tyler. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you being here. Yes. You know where those ladies would look at home? Riding atop of my Stormlord. Oh, gosh. Yeah. You're right. It's unrelated, but you're right. Got some good tank commanders in. I don't know. I kind of feel like this work here is done. We just need to get the this crackle paint business going on the top. So what is that, like a gray with the this khaki tone on top? I think that's basically what that is. I don't know. I'll have to give it a shot. Alternatively, I can put the light khaki on top, and I think that's supposed to be gray. Let me take a look at my other dust minis here. So here's one of the pre-painted models, and they look great. Oop, there we go. So this is from their pre-painted set, and you can see what they've done on the bottom here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is gray. So we're gonna do gray, and then we're gonna put a khaki tan on top and crackle that. Like a deep brown mud. I hear ya, but this is like a bleached desert, and I kind of need it to match here. Tabletop ready, largely tabletop ready. Most of the way there. They have faces. Basing is so huge to it though. Where's my pewter gray? There it is, pewter gray. If you mix blue with white, then water down with purple, a wash of blue coils should give an electric look. Something weird I spotted on the internet is on the Vallejo's website. They have big bottles of Vallejo crackle medium. I swear, what on earth is it used for, I wonder? I always use clear bases. Wow, that's a lot of work. We are going to base this in gray. She's got a rock she's standing on anyway, so that'll have to be gray. But yeah, I'm gonna have to match it, so we're going for it. I've been really enjoying this red brush. It's got a lot of versatility to it. And yes, this is craft paints, which is why you're not seeing amazing coverage. But technically I'm painting terrain now, so I don't have to get as much crap for this. I see there's no purple or green, but could we add purple and green? Yes, exactly. Blue with white, then water down to purple. I don't know, that sounds like an interesting idea. I just don't know that I'm ready to commit to that. All right, wow, we're gonna be doing a couple bases, or oh my gosh, a couple coats of this. Oh my gosh. Totally got way too happy with that one. this gray off of her boots here. Which, as long as the brush is just wet, it'll take it off. There we go. Better. I bought some swamp mixture and they said to do it in layers because too much will make it sink in the middle too much. No, I appreciate it, Larian. I don't mind the challenge. Part of hanging out here is, well, a bit to challenge myself. Pretty good at knowing my limits, but I can be a little conservative with them at times too. I mean, there's something to be said for just getting it tabletop ready, right? And these chicas have to fight soon. So it will be worth it. Worth it getting them tabletop ready, I should say. There we go. And this looks horrible in the beginning because it's just the first layer. It makes me sad because it's like, it's already a nice color. It was great. But nope, not done. Not done yet. So this crackle medium I've never tried before, and that is probably going to be where I end it, but we'll see how it works. We'll see. We'll see about the coils. Right now I'm more concerned about the base. I'm really happy with where the base ends, then I'll probably end it there. But, you know, if I still have more time and the base is done. So far it just looks like a hot mess. That's normal. Although magnifying glasses are better, just eyeball it. So I saw the new Necromunda box trail. I'd be so much more excited if the rules didn't put me to sleep last time. Oh no. The one thing I know about crackle mediums is the thicker you painted, the bigger the cracks you'll get. Yeah, and I was looking that one up yesterday, and that was the same thing that was mentioned. So I know that overall I want very medium-sized crackles. I don't want micro. I don't want huge. We'll see. These girls just want to fit in with all of their other based brethren. We'll figure it out. This is layer 2, which is already going on a lot smoother than the first layer. And then how will this crackle business look? we go. All right. Probably a third layer, and then I think we'll be kind of in business here. This will be interesting. I'm nervous. Gray base part, step 2, mostly there. You can still see there's plenty of streaking, so we'll have to go over it again. Craft paints always look bad with the first coat. You're totally right. You need multiple coats. That's why it's not even necessarily like, it's why the biggest cost of craft paints is generally time. Alright, so that's gonna sit there and dry for a second. Let's take a look at this crackle material. I tried to use those really big bottles of Vallejo acrylic studio paints and it just never worked. These paints were not thick enough regarding their pigment. It was a disaster. Oh dear. Well, this is what we're going to be trying today. I think this cost me $2. Step 1, apply over painted surface. Dries clear in 2 to 4. I think that says hours. So we're going to have to let it sit. Apply over painted surface. Can be antiqued with any stain or staining antique. Medium mixed with Americana. To antique, simply brush on and wipe back. I'm not antiquing. Alright, let's see what we've got here. So, say we've got this gray surface here. I need to find a disposable brush. A brush I don't mind letting die. We'll test this out here. So this is another thing that just goes on clear, right? I need to put it over a painted surface, that's right. So, if we take my khaki, big bottle acrylics, and they never worked. Okay. Seen a lot of Miranda's craft paints and can match them a bit to Citadel. But I stick to Citadel. I need chaos and Tyranids. I look at Miranda's paints on her table and I would equate them to Vallejo acrylic studio paints as I stated above. I could never get them to work with miniatures. Craft paints are not pigment rich enough, which is why I'm wondering what's so special about these paints on the table. They must be cheap and pigment rich somehow. Are you talking about those Vallejo acrylics? Probably. I mean, if you see them acting the way you see like these paints act, then that doesn't sound right. Alright, so throwing on with a normal brush. I'm just testing this here on the paper. because my concern is being able to get this crackle effect to work right. And I guess I am a little concerned. Wait! Oh, why am I waiting? Paint the medium over your gray. That's what I'm not clear on. Apply over painted surface. Because once you have it on the painted surface, then it has to sit there, and then you put the actual regular paint on, and then you'll see the contrast difference, right? That's the idea. Yeah. And that's what I was seeing. But if that's the case, then you guys are not going to see it tonight because it'll have to sit for 4 to 6 hours. 2 to 4 hours, I bet. Okay. Did the Creature Caster paints impress you more than the Citadel or Vallejo? Well, I have minimal experience with all of them. The Citadel paints kind of run the gambit for me. Some of them, I like their washes, I'm forever a fan of. I have mixed feelings about the different paint color options they have. And then the Vallejo, I really just use the one skin color one. I don't mess around with them very much either. I just happen to have more experience by virtue of being with Jason at Valhalla and him showing me the paints of their pro acryl. And, you know, he knows the science of making paints. So and you know, sure, he's trying to sell his paints, but like just in painting and working with them, they were nice. So I did enjoy them. But just from a completely honest perspective, I admit my opinion is probably somewhat ignorant on it. But I did enjoy, like, they did work well for me. They mixed very well. They went on with this beautiful one coat. And sometimes Citadel works just fine for me, and sometimes Vallejo works just fine for me. I just care more about getting the paints to work than which brand. And I think I'm slowly growing out a little bit weary of craft paints just because they do require more time in order to get them to look right. And so I think I'm just becoming open to new possibilities. All right. So, Chica's here have eyeballs, lips, wash. The hair is, I think, fine. Their jumpsuits are fine. The base now is largely covered. Yeah, down in there it'll be different. It's fine. I'm not gonna fret too deeply about getting any sort of crackle on those edges there. You can also mix your khaki color with the medium. Can't be sure how it will finish when dried. I don't know. Have to see. Come on, you can hang out a few more hours to see the results. We might just montage theory that one. The medium will dry clear, but crack to show the gray color through. Then you have to paint khaki on the dry top surface to get your desert color. Yeah, I think that is right. I worked with Citadel and thin and thickens as I want my models to look because the local art shops have closed. There's that too. Jeremy, I really enjoyed the Creature Caster paints and I think I will be picking up a bunch next year, but I don't think they will replace any of my current paints. Yeah, and as long as the paints like play nice together, then that's probably a good way to go. Started using Vallejo liquid metal paints. They're alcohol based and cover incredibly well. All right. Sounds cool. Oh boy. I don't know, guys. I feel kind of happy with where they're at. We'll have to figure out this medium business, but I'm gonna make sure I've smoothed that out first. Then I'll try it. But this is probably the last time you'll see these ladies on the live stream for painting, because they're good. They're ready to start fighting. So I'm happy with that. And I don't think I'm willing to mess with the gun. Kind of like the gritty kind of base look as it is without it needing all the extra stuff. This little wire is so weird. It's like a fabric cord. It's funny because the dust minis, they probably get a little closer to bordering that, for lack of a better word, and it says it on the box. You know, it's not a toy, but for lack of a better word, a little bit of a toy fill, because, you know, they've got a helicopter for the Spetsnaz, which is super fun, but you can play with the rotor and, you know, make it fly. Not that I was doing that. So, anyway. They're ready. Yeah, I think they're ready. I mean, they don't quite look like this, but they're fine. They'll fight things on the table and run around with this dude. Yeah. Focus on this freaking camera makes me want to just go nuts. Alright, camera, let me tell you what to do again. Alright. Yep, they blend in pretty dang well. Man, you're really on this electric gun. Well, it's okay. They sell the miniature. You can pick one up. Show off what you can do on it. They look good. Thank you as always for the stream, and I hope the medium works out for you. I'll be messing with it soon for some space wolves. All right. Well, yeah, look for it on Instagram. I'll put the final on here, and goodness, we'll just see what happens. Worst comes to worst, I'll be scraping it off. But yeah, I'm probably going to end it a little early here because I'm going to get back to my pumpkin carving and then the rest of my Halloween prep, which I do have a little bit to do. So happy Halloween, happy daylight savings time adjustments. Yes, thank you. Next week should be a little more interesting. I'll probably have Beast Grave stuff ready to go and we can chat about that because a lot of those models look really, really cool. So I need that model for my next Death Watch kill team. Is that what you need? That weapon? I think that could work out just fine. It'd be funny. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna call it here. Thank you all so much for hanging out again on the live stream. Sorry I was particularly quiet. I was really focused on these faces and I don't know. I think I'm mostly happy with them. Like, you've got to know when to stop. And so hopefully I do. And I'll post the finished one once this crackle business is all done. So we'll see you next time. Take care. Happy Halloween. And if any of you are giving out candy, and hope you have a good time. Good fun with the kiddos. If there's any Halloween parties, have fun at those too. We'll see you next week.